noticeable difference
Mhm.
in how this is all being viewed by the public. They're making progress. They're taking depositions. They were supposed to take one freaking today with Pam
Yeah.
Bondi. That's gotten delayed. What do you make of where this is going, where you think this heads next, and how I guess Congress is handling this one thing?
Well, it is an exercise that shows that even in the congressional minority, without the power of the gavel, without unilateral subpoena deposition authority, that Democrats can be really effective if they all like channel and message and march to the beat of the same drums that the Democrats struggle with oftentimes. The most successful period of time that Darrell Issa had at the Oversight Committee, in my opinion, was the 2 years that we were actually in the minority, and that we forced the majority through messaging, through communications, through rapid response to investigate things like the BP oil spill, the financial crisis, the financial bailout of the banks that led us down the path of the financial crisis. Um, I always felt that our best work wasn't in the political terrain, but was holding corporate America accountable. And I think that's a blueprint for what Democrats can do going forward. I think that this showdown with Pam Bondi is incredibly consequential. It wasn't
Hmm.
that long ago, just a few weeks ago, by the way, that the Republican-led committee was willing to hold Bill and Hillary Clinton in contempt of Congress if they did not comply with the deposition that was subpoenaed. Pam Bondi is supposed to be giving a deposition today via congressional subpoena. The subpoena doesn't say the Attorney General of the United States. The subpoena says Pam Bondi. The idea that that subpoena is null and void because she's no longer going to be the Attorney General is a complete fallacy. That's just not true. That's not realistic. No one seemed to care that Bill and Hillary Clinton were the former president, former Secretary of State. They still grilled them for 9 hours, on camera behind closed doors. So if you're going to have a standard for Bill and Hillary Clinton, you better set it for Pam Bondi and anyone else that the committee wants to ask questions of. And Democrats better take note. Clearly, the Trump administration does not want to have these people testify behind closed doors. There's probably a reason for that. And so, if they take back the majority, they need to be willing to deploy any and all resources they have to compel answers to their questions. And that might even include invoking inherent contempt, which means you could deploy the Capitol Police to literally arrest somebody and hold them in the Capitol jail until they are willing to answer questions.
How do you think this ends? The Republicans have been, uniquely equivocating on whether she should come sit before the committee. Do you think it happens before the end of the year?
I think as long as the Justice Department saying she doesn't have to. I mean, this is the issue, and there needs to be a legislative remedy to this that Democrats should consider pursuing at some point. The problem with contempt is the enforcement mechanism is the Justice Department. So if you have a president like Donald Trump and a Justice Department led by whomever, Todd Blanche, I guess in this case, um, they're not going to enforce a criminal contempt, brought by Congress on Pam Bondi. So we need to actually have enforcement with teeth. That is Donald Trump has done a very good job of exploiting the cracks in some of these check and balance features that are supposed to exist. The system only works if the other party is willing to buy into the enforcement of checks and balance. Donald Trump Republicans have shown that they're not. And so, when they take back Congress, one of the first agenda items needs to be putting forward new guidelines that allow them to enforce their subpoenas without the Justice Department getting involved. That's a real problem that we have, and I hope Democrats understand when they take back power, there's going to be a lot of resistance from Trump world, so they're going to have to find a way to get those answers.